Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, African Fashion and Styles. Today I'll be doing a tutorial on a basic body pattern cutting. Basically this tutorial is for beginners. You know how to take your measurements, and I'll be using the mannequin for illustration. It will be for a better understanding how to take the full length, your bust, your upper bust, your under bust, your waist, your shoulder, your hip. Basically this tutorial is for beginners, and after the tutorial I'll be doing a tutorial on a men's native top, how to take the measurement and how to cut men's native top. Currently this is what I'm working on. These are for customers. So currently I'm working on this, so I will be doing a tutorial on that as well. These are for customer. Currently I'm working on this, so let's get started. This is, as I said earlier, I will be using the mannequin for better understanding how to take your measurements, your shoulder, the length, the upper bust, the under bust, the waist, the hip, the sleeve length, the round sleeve. What you do first is you take the length, and what you do next is you take the shoulder measurement. This is how you take the shoulder measurement. You can see for this shoulder now is 16. This is how you take the shoulder measurement. And what you do next is from the shoulder you take your bust point. This is your bust point. For better understanding, that is why I'm using the mannequin. This is your bust point. You can see for yourself now, this is the bust point. That is why they call it the bust point. The bust point for this mannequin is 9. And if you want to take your upper bust, you can use 7 or 6.5 for your upper bust. Then under bust, you can see for yourself, under bust is 12 inches. You see some peplum, they have band here, band. That is the reason. That is where they get the band measurement. You take your under bust 12, from there you take 2 or 3 inches for the band. That's where you get that band. You see band on peplum, fitted peplum, you see band, that's where they got the band. You take your under bust 12, then you take your band 3 inches for band. Then what you do next is to get your waist measurement. From the shoulder again, you take 16. That's your waistline measurement. And from the shoulder, you get your hip measurement, which is 24. 24 is your hip measurement. So if you are going to take your bust, your round, the long bust circumference, that's how you take your round bust. Make sure your tape is on the bust point. That's your round bust. You don't take it up, you don't bring it down. Okay, so you just make sure it's on the bust point, then you take the round bust. And for the waist, this is your waistline. You take your waist measurement, the right measurement, then you add 2 inches to it for sewing, or 1 inch for sewing. Then you take your tape down, you get your hip measurement. That's your hip measurement. And another thing I want to teach you here is, if you want to take your waist measurement, you use 16. And from that 16, you bring your tape down. You take from that 16, you can bring your tape down. Okay, don't worry, I will be using pattern paper after the talking. You bring your tape down, then you take 8 inches. You use the 8 inches to take your hip measurement. That's it for the measurement taking. So what we are going to do next is to go for pattern paper again for better understanding. Right now I will be using pattern paper for better understanding. So I'm using pattern paper now. The first thing you do, is you take the length of your blouse, the length of your top, or the length of your dress, top, long dress, it doesn't matter. You take the length. Let's assume we are using 34 for the length of this dress. So what you do is you rule out 34. Okay, you take your shoulder measurement 16 plus ½ inch sewing. You mark out. You take ½ inch for shoulder slant. So right now we've gotten our shoulder. We've gotten our shoulder. That's the shoulder. So we are going to take the waistline, the bust line, the upper bust, the under bust. First we take the waistline 16. We take the hip line, which is 24. Okay. You take your bust point 9. You take your upper bust 7. And you take your under bust 12. Just like I said on the illustration. So these are the key lines. You mark out. You mark out these lines. With these lines, you can't make mistake. You mark out the lines. These are the key lines for cutting. So after that, you take your armhole. Remember the shoulder was 16, so we are using 8 for the armhole as well. So these are the basic line for cutting. So on this pattern paper measurement, the bust is 40. Divide by 4, which is 10. I will be adding 1 inch for seam allowance. We are getting the shape gradually. That's the waist. The waist is 32. So I will be adding 2 inches to it. And the hip is 40. Divide by 4 plus 2 inches seam allowance. So that's how you get your then you connect from the down to the hip. It's as simple as that. So on this armhole, you curve to get your armhole. You curve it. To get your armhole. And remember, on this armhole you reduce here with ½ inch. ½ inch. So this is how you get your perfect armhole. So these are the key lines for cutting. I just hope you understand it. So on the neck you can use 3, depends on individual. You can use 3, you can use 3.5, it depends on the individual. For the back and front you can use 3. So if you want it round neck, V neck, that one depends on you. But for the round neck, back and front, the cutting, you use 3 to cut it out first. So let's cut out what we draft to see how it comes out. Remember, this is the zip allowance, button or zip allowance. Let's down the shoulder. Now this is pattern paper. I have to be careful. So that's it for basic bodice pattern cutting for beginners. So these are the key lines you will need before cutting. So another thing is how you get your dart. So on this tutorial I will be using princess dart. You take your tape to your shoulder, you take 4.5 inch, 4.5 inch and mark. I will be using princess dart on this pattern paper tutorial. So on this waistline you take 4. So what you do is you connect up to get your princess dart. You connect up to get your princess dart. Then you come to the hip side. You come to the hip side. You take 4.5. That's what I normally do for my princess dart. Then you connect together. You can make your princess dart halfway. You can also make it straight down. You connect. That's how you get your princess dart. So what you do is to cut. So this is how you get your princess dart. And at the extreme end you don't cut, you leave it halfway. You don't cut it out, you leave it halfway, so that you want to sew, you just pick it and there. Oh, so you see, pattern paper is always like that. So if you want to sew up, you just pick it and arrange it together and sew upwards. So that's it for pattern paper basic cutting for beginners. If you find this video helpful, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, share, and leave a comment on the comment section. Thank you.